leadership. As men, one of the basic duties, abilities, assets, ways of being that we have, that we can bring to the world, is our leadership. How clean is our leadership? How embodied is our leadership? On the shadowy side, how is our leadership? How engaging are we? How much space do we have to hold the thing, the person, the people that we are leading? And now, if we don't have capacity and containment of our energies, of our emotions, of our desires, then our leadership will suffer. And so when it comes down to how well do you lead, it is how much capacity do you have and how well are you contained in your way of being. Capacity is the ability to be with everything without needing the moment or the person or the self to be any different. Men have two kind of versions that live inside there. And all men have this, and the men that have done the work have the containment and the capacity around this. So the one is the kind of the darker, the shadow side of it is the man that has not been initiated or integrated or is in his embodied masculine needs every moment to be different. He needs his woman to be different. She's too naggy. She's too expressed. She's too much. He needs the business woman to be different. This is too hard. This is too uncertain. He needs himself to be different. I'm not enough. I can't do this. I don't believe in myself. I hate myself. I'm carrying so much shame. All these things speak to a man that has not done the work, that does not have the capacity to be with a moment and not need it to be different. Now, the other side of that is the man that actually has the capacity. He has the capacity to be in a moment of, let's just call it intensity. This man has the capacity to be in a moment of intensity, a tough conversation in his relationship, a tough negotiation in business, on the football field, basketball court, a tight game. The man that has done the work, that has the capacity, can be in those moments and remain in his center, remain grounded, using his breath, using his energetics, using his nervous system. The man that does not have the capacity, his nervous system inside is firing, and he needs it to be different. And he is in danger of being destructive, of being rigid, of ejecting, of numbing out, of causing more pain, more destruction. The man that has capacity is the man that is trusted, the man that provides safety, the man that is engaged. The leadership is engaged because people feel good around him. They want to follow his lead. There's less ego involved. So when it comes to leadership, the most important thing that you can have is your capacity to be the leader. A leader is a very expansive thing. To be a leader is an expansive ask. It is a big ask. And so without capacity, the leadership will suffer. With capacity, the leadership will expand. You'll be successful. You'll be powerful. You'll be respected. You'll be acknowledged and celebrated. So the third part of this is containment. With capacity comes containment. So think about a highway. If it's a narrow highway, it does not have the capacity for a lot of cars. And anything that kind of spills over to the edges gets uncontained and causes accidents and wrecks and all that kind of stuff. So with massive capacity comes massive containment. If you are always bumping up against your edges, you are going to struggle with containment. So part of leadership, having the capacity to hold it all. And then the other part of the leadership is how contained can everything be? How much structure can you impart on the team, the business, the household, the woman that you're with, the marriage, the family, whatever it is? How much of your structure is there in place that is trusted, that is safe, that is spacious, that you can contain? So without capacity, there is no containment. Without capacity, there is no leadership. With capacity, there is leadership. With capacity, you have the room to contain. So one of the things about leadership is that there is some of the things that men get screwy, disconnected about leadership is the energies around capacity get a little bit misplaced, because what it's taken to achieve and to build and to become ultra successful is oftentimes not the thing that will translate well to other areas of life. So business doesn't always translate to the bedroom. The boardroom doesn't always translate to the bedroom. The playing field doesn't always translate to the dinner table. So there's three big kind of pitfalls or disconnects that I see a lot of men when talking about capacity and leadership. The first one is there's a lot of capacity for output. A lot of high achieving men have a lot of capacity for output, meaning they can go out and they can achieve, they can solution, they can make a plan and go do it, which is great. Obviously, it's provided a lot for these men and for the world. The thing though is that output oftentimes doesn't provide the space for presence. So the capacity for output does not equate to the capacity for presence. The capacity for presence is what I was just talking about. It is the ability to be with a moment without needing to rush off to the next thing, without having your mind wander from the dinner table to the work. It is the capacity for presence is the capacity to hold yourself when things are uncomfortable, when you might find yourself wanting to be somewhere else. How can you maintain your presence there? Now, quick sidebar, all of this comes down to how well and how regulated your nervous system is. How well and how regulated your nervous system remains when it's getting tested, when you're up against your edges. The second pitfall, disconnect from leadership, is that the capacity to solve, the capacity to solution is not the same as the capacity to sit with uncertainty, the capacity to sit with discomfort. So again, a lot of these are going to speak to the same thing, but they're slightly different. So if a man has essentially achieved or solutioned or structured or masculined his way to avoiding uncertainty, when uncertainty arises, he will have the ability to sit with it. And that means that when the woman that he's with is being the fully expressed emotional being that she is, he will oftentimes recoil, eject, numb out, look away. The string will get dropped, and she will feel that, and it will cause problems in the marriage. So, creating the capacity to be with uncertainty is the next level skill that will actually translate well from all other areas of life back to business, and from business to all other areas of life as well. These things all can be translated back and forth once they are cultivated and mastered. The third one, and this is the big one, is that control is not leadership. Leadership is actually a big part of leadership is the ability to be with things that are out of control. How well can you maintain a centered, grounded version of yourself in the chaos of not control, of things that are out of control? And again, this is all the men are really good at creating control, and creating controls in their life, and creating boundaries and things in their life. So bring these all together. So we have the output, the capacity for output is not the same as the capacity for presence. The capacity to create things to avoid uncertainty is not the same as the capacity to be with uncertainty. And the third one is that control does not equal capacity to lead. So to sum these all up, having capacity means that you can actually say, I've got this no matter what happens here. That's capacity. The no capacity, the lack of capacity is I got this as long as things go my way. As long as things stay on my highway. That's when I got things. And if they get outside of that, if they get beyond my edges, beyond my capacity, I'm out of containment and I do not got it. So a true leader does the work constantly to build the nervous system capacity, the energetic capacity, the emotional capacity to be with chaos, to be with uncertainty, to be with things as they are without needing them to be any different. So as you think about leadership, as a man out there watching this, and you're a leader, whether that's in athletics, professional athletes, whether that's in movies, celebrities, whether that's ultra high net worth men that have multiple companies, whatever it is, whether it's the man that's just leading his family and has a team of 5 at an entrepreneur or startup, whatever it is, whatever you're leading, how much of your leadership can you expand with capacity? Because if you have the capacity to hold the things outside your quote unquote comfort zone, or zone of control, you're going to become a better leader. Now, with capacity, there's a little side avenue here. With capacity comes containment. So how well you contain your own energies, how well you contain your own emotions, how well you contain your own rage, anger, all the things that come up inside you without being robotic is going to feed into your quality as a leader, your embodiment as a leader. If you don't have the containment of the emotion and the energy or the discomfort that comes up when things don't go your way, you're going to be viewed as untrustworthy, unsafe, destructive. People are not going to come to you. People will not follow you. Everything is a ripple effect that everything will suffer. So bringing it all together, leadership. Leadership is one of the most important things a man can ever bring to any situation in his life. And it starts with self-leadership. It goes into family leadership, marriage leadership, and it goes also into business leadership. Whatever purpose, mission the man is on, it goes into that. And so the key to leadership, the key to being a good leader is how much capacity do you have to hold the eventual chaos that will happen in the thing, people, place, thing that you are leading. If you do not have the capacity to hold all the things that come with that, your leadership will suffer. If you do not have the containment of yourself, of your own nervous system, of your own energies, your leadership will suffer. If you want to be a good leader, the key is build your capacity, cultivate your containment. You will then become the embodied leader.